In today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at creating a double exposure image using a portrait and a landscape image. These tutorials are designed with a beginner in mind, so hopefully if you follow along, you should be able to produce a good Photoshop image at the end of this. Now, the first thing that we want to do when we start is we want to go up to Window and we want to go to Workspace and we want to click Reset Essentials so that your screen looks exactly as mine. The next thing we want to do is we want to right click in the icon which is next to the home screen. We want to right click that and we want to reset all tools so that all your tools are the exact same as mine. Now what we want to do is we want to download the images from the description box below of the girl and of the mountain scene. So I'm going to start with a picture of the girl. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to our selection tool. We're going to right click that and we're going to go to the object selection tool. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to ask Photoshop to select the subject for us, and it will make the selection for us. Then we're going to go ahead and create a layer mask so we have isolated the subject from the background. The next step will be to create a background color of our choosing. In order to do that, we come to our adjustment layers down here and we choose a solid color, and then I'm going to just start with the white all the way up here and hit OK. So this layer I'm going to rename as background, and of course I'm going to drag it so that it's below the image of the girl. The next step is to go over and select the landscape image. Please note the landscape image has got a bright sky, a light colored sky, and darker mountains and trees down here. I'm going to Command A to select everything, Command C to copy. I'm going to go over to my model image. I'm going to go to the top layer up here and I'm going to go Command and V to paste. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the opacity to around about 50%, and now I can see through the landscape to the model to see where I can position my landscape image. Command and T, which will allow me to transform, and I want to make it bigger than the entire portrait. And then I'm going to move it around and I'm going to notice where the outline of the rocks, the dark areas in the landscape, interact with the face, and we want to make sure that we've got the key features of the face, which is the eyes, the nose and the mouth. So this looks good, and the lighter areas up there will be hidden as normal. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to apply my transform by hitting the tick button up here. Then I'm going to come and bring my opacity back to 100%. Now the next step is to blend through my landscape image, and the best mode to do that is to drop down the blend modes and then come down for a lighten or screen mode. My preference is for lighten. Now what's happening is we're blending through and the dark parts of the images are coming through here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my background color, which is currently white. So I'm going to click in there, and this area will, if I double click, will now give me an opportunity to change my background color. Now as I move over into the picture, I get the pipette, and we're going to choose a blue color from the sky here, and then I'm going to hit OK to that there. Now what's happened is the background color has been changed to this light blue sky, and the blend mode for the landscape has allowed us to blend and see some of the landscape image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer, Command and J, so I now have landscape 2. And with landscape 2, I'm going to Command and T to transform, and then I'm just going to roll it around all the way around like this. And it doesn't have to be exact, we're really just looking at the effect on the face. So I'm going to roll around until I find something that I'm happy with. You can of course change the position, and the more dark parts of the image interact with dark parts of this image, we're going to see more of the model. So I'm going to stop around about there. I quite like that. I'm going to apply this transform by hitting transform there. Okay, the last thing we want to do is we just want to tidy up the image a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer mask on each one of these two landscape images. So at the top one, I'm just going to initiate my layer mask, and now in my layer mask I need my brush tool, B for brush, and remember you can hold down the Control and Option keys, and then with your mouse you can left and right to change the size of the brush, and up or down to change the hardness or softness of the brush. So we want a soft brush. which is round about there. Now under the opacity of my brush, I'm going to reduce my opacity to about 50%. You need to make sure that your foreground color is black because we are painting into a white page here. Then I'm going to go ahead and paint out the areas that I don't want to see. So for example, these clouds, if you don't want to see them, because we are painting into this layer mask here, we can just paint over and they will disappear. Now, I'm seeing some clouds up here. Now remember, this is the lighter part of this landscape image. So I'm going to click down to this layer, make it my active layer. I'm going to create a layer mask and the exact same thing as before, ensuring that I'm in the layer mask. I'm going to brush and I can remove some of these clouds if you want to. Okay, the last thing is I want to be able to see more of the key features of the face here. So what I'm going to do is, ensuring that I'm still in the layer mask, I'm just going to brush out some of the landscape, which brings in more of the model. I'm going to click up to this layer mask and I'm going to do a bit more there. I'm quite liking that look. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you found this video tutorial useful. If you have, please do give it the thumbs up and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.